For a great cup of joe, there's one thing you should know. Your morning brew can also be playful. Buff Boy Brewing guys make the temperature rise, and you surely feel naughty when you swallow our coffee. If you want some real heat, give your mouth a fine treat. You will want some more, rest assured. Buff Boy Brewing, you can't get enough of.
It's time for The Scribble, your weekly fix of celebrity chats, bizarre stories in the news, and basic random chatter with best-selling author and syndicated radio host Jeremy Bradley. Make sure your seat is in the upright and locked position and your barf bag is securely in place. Here's Jeremy Bradley.
Scammers everywhere. Jeremy Bradley here. This is The Scribble. Thanks so much for tuning in today. It used to be that they would call you, and then you got emails, and just is it becoming easier to fool you, or are you kind of catching on to things when you get an unsolicited text, email, or phone call? Well, I've got lots of stories to share on The Scribble, and it starts right after this.
Isn't it crazy that you wait for payday, but before you know it, you're strapped for cash again? It's time to stop blowing your money and become a smart spender with the book, The Official Guide to Being an American Cheapskate at cheapskatebook.com. Learn simple ways to cut costs at home every day and during special times of the year. Don't go broke at Christmas. Don't remortgage the house for a fancy vacation. The book is filled with tips to save you money throughout the year. Check out the best-selling book, The Official Guide to Being an American Cheapskate at cheapskatebook.com or on Amazon and iTunes.
Ever had something to get off your chest but never had the balls to say it? That's a load of crap. Speak Free with JB.com is exactly what you've been waiting for. Your chance to tell it like it is and not care what anybody else thinks. Have your say on issues of the day. Join newspaper and radio columnist Jeremy Bradley as he tells it like it is. Hundreds of thousands of people have stopped by, including some well-known celebrities who have had a chat with JB and speak candidly about what's really going on in the world. You can join them too. Have a rant or a rave. Be brave and head on over to www.speakfreewithjb.com now.
JB here on The Scribble. Back in the day, telemarketing was a thing. Now I guess they're called spam calls, but they've also gone to the extreme now where it's like you have somebody, calling from whatever other country, and they don't speak English properly and they want your bank number or whatever it is. And I mean, so that's the great thing about having the phone number displayed, right? When and we've talked about this internally here at the office, which is, do you answer calls from a number that you don't know? And everybody said no. But we also then had the discussion, but are you the type of person who calls it back and sees, right? I used to hate that back in the day. If you dialed the wrong number or whatever, and then all of a sudden your phone rings 2 minutes later. I got a call from this number. Okay, and? Well, what did you want? That was the wrong number. So, okay. And I never knew what to make of that when people would do that, because I always thought about, this is somebody who was just like longing to have a phone call from somebody, I need to know why you called me. I've pressed the wrong fucking number. Okay. That's it. There's no story. I don't need to have a story behind it. I called the wrong number. That's it. I would have left a message if it was something important. I would, or I'll call you back or whatever. But yeah, I've never done that. I've never done the, somebody called me from this number. Can I help you? What would you like? Well, I don't know you. You don't know me. So let's just end it right there. I mean, we didn't even need to make this a thing. We could have just, ignored it. So, back in the day, you would get these telemarketing calls, and you still get them from time to time, from the furnace company or the air conditioning company, right? Or, do you want us to come and clean your carpets at home? Or do you want us to do your lawn care? Do you need a new roof or whatever it is? And again, because it comes up on the phone, it shows that it's a company calling. I'm not answering it. And so the reason why I'm laughing about this is because it just happened not too long ago, where you get a call or a text message where it's like, hi, Cynthia, it's so-and-so. This is my new number. And you're like, I don't even know that fucking area code. So it's, I'm not named Cynthia. I don't know anybody named Cynthia. So, but we had the discussion of, do you reply to a text and go, wrong number, or this ain't whoever. Like, do you do that, or do you just let it go? Do you just ignore it? So when I was a kid growing up at home, we used to get these telemarketing calls all the time. And it was, well, I was a kid, so I don't know exactly like what they were for. I just know that they would be asking for, they would totally murder the pronunciation of my family's last name. And I would just be like, okay, because you could tell that they don't know, who they're asking for. They don't know who they're looking for. They don't know, what the deal is. It could be a carpet cleaning company. You don't really know. And so I remember answering the phone in the kitchen one day. My mom was standing, whatever she was doing, washing dishes or making food, but she was standing in the kitchen. I grabbed the phone because, her hands were wet or whatever it was that she was doing. Because in our house, it was sort of like mom answered the phone, and that was kind of the thing. So if she couldn't, right, then you would do that in her absence. So I got the okay to answer the phone. And so they'd asked for Trevor, who's my brother. And they said, oh, is Trevor there? And just out of nowhere, I was kind of like, no, he's not with us anymore. Oh, is there a different number, or like is he just moved? No, he's not with us anymore. Oh, like he's dead. And my mom, I just remembered, I wasn't doing it to get a reaction of her. I was doing this, for the call itself. And she just shot me this look like, what are you doing? And wouldn't you know it, though, Trevor got removed from the phone list, and that company never called for him again. Because, why would they, right? Why would they keep calling for something? You told them that he's dead. What would be the point? They would be wasting their time. They'd be wasting their energy. And so that was a way to get off of their call list, was basically just say, he's dead. That's all. He's dead. He's not here anymore. So my question to you, oh dear listener, is do you fuck around with people like when they do that? It's happened before, and I wonder if we wouldn't have time to pull it up right now in the show. If I knew that I was going to take it in this direction, we would have had it queued up. But we've been I'm sitting in a radio studio right now. Like our company, we've had a broadcast studio for 20 years because I was hosting syndicated radio shows for 18 years. And so there were times when we wouldn't be doing live shows, but there's a studio line here, which is like an 800 number. So when we would have celebrity guests or whatever it was, we give them our celebrity phone line. And for some reason, our 800 number got picked up by whatever, telemarketing spammer company, and it could also just be random dialing, right? They don't even necessarily know. So what I did a couple of times when I was sitting at this very microphone, and all of a sudden I see the red light start blinking, and it shouldn't be blinking if we're not taping a show or we're not expecting a celebrity guest. Like, why the hell is it blinking, right? So I'd be, all right, let's just hit record, and let me press the button that answers the call, and I would go and say, hello, you're on the air. And then you would get some whatever, foreign accent, and they would, oh, I'm looking for, such and such. I'm calling about your, da-da-da-da-da. I'm calling from such and such company, and it's maybe a company that you do deal with, but obviously, they don't know any. And that's also why I never really understood how people, and it's going to sound like I'm old person shaming, so I'm not, but I'm saying like younger people, like my generation, I don't know how you could just be convinced by that and just be like, okay, yep, here's my account number, here's this and this. No, you tell me what my account number is. You give me, you're the one calling me. If I call you, right, let's just think of company, whatever, AT&T, Sprint, Verizon, whatever it might be. When I call you, I have to give you every single piece of fucking information, right? I've got to tell you how much my last bill was, what type of a bank account I paid it from, the date that I paid it, my zip code, my secret code, my password. They're going to put me on hold so that I can enter in my 4-digit code before they'll even answer the most basic of questions. So with that logic, somebody calling you out of the blue, oh, I'm calling about your account and it's that I'm going to fall for that? I'm going to fall for that? Really? So I've put them on the spot, and I've said, you tell me my account number. You called me. I didn't call you. We have a clip. Oh my God, they got a clip. See, it pays to ramble sometimes. Which one is this, you guys? Oh, don't even tell me. I want to listen to it at the same time. All right, let's play a clip.
No, sir, so before applying the discount on your land, do you remember how much was your last monthly mobility bill, like a regular bill?
So you work for Rogers. So just to recap then, the name that's come up on my phone, JASKARANGREWAL, the phone number 204-229-4968 is coming up on my phone. And you're saying your name is Mark. And you're with Rogers?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What is your ID number or employee number with Rogers? You've called a radio studio, so we're actually recording this, so I just want to run it by Rogers. So you've called and asked me for my information. You've told me I'm a loyal customer and offering me a 30% discount on my services. I've heard other stories. That wasn't one of the best ones, but I I got all excited. But I've heard people... was it on YouTube? I think people, like, I've seen people take a video of themselves on hold, right? So like they're basically you're watching the person who's receiving the call, right? They're taking a video of themselves, and they're just totally screwing with the people, just totally messing with them. And there was one woman, I don't remember like how long she kept putting them on hold, and would just wait for 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, however many minutes. She'd go do whatever. She would just not even, and just make the person say, and then she'd come back with like the wrong information on purpose, and then would be told that, right? Like, oh, that's not your account number, whatever it was. Oh, well, hold on, let me go look again. And then again put the person on hold. So it was just, you gotta fuck with these people. They're scammers, right? I mean, that's at the end of the day. Then you've got Mark, and he's, yes, I'm with Rogers. Well, then you tell me what my bill was. You tell me my account number. I'm still not likely to answer your questions or do what it is that you're telling me. I'm still old school like that, where it's like, I will dial the 800 number myself, so I know that I'm getting through to the company, to the right department, whatever it is. Just like they tell you in emails or whatever, don't click links, type in directly the website address and go that way, right? Don't, and I'm fascinated, because you would think, I'm old. I've already said this. I'm 42 years old. I would think that these younger kids or whoever are more resourceful than I am, right? I don't understand the ins and outs of, TikTok and all this other bullshit that everybody spends so much time on. But for some reason, are people just getting stupid? Is it gullibility? Gullibleness? Is that what it is? You can't tell me that people are too trusting nowadays. That can't be. I refuse to accept that. You cannot tell me that in this day and age, where everybody is just pissed off at everybody and is flying off the handle at the slightest thing, you can't tell me that you trust random strangers. And, I don't know. Like I said, old people who don't understand it, who get a phone call like that, sure, they don't get internet scams and crap like that. So they probably don't know what's going around online, because they're not on Reddit message boards, or they're not on Facebook. So, okay, old people get a pass. Fine. But I don't know anybody who could listen to Mark's phone call there and be like, oh, okay. The phone number on my phone comes up with a person's name, which is not Mark. What was it? Gruel, just something Gruel. And my name is Mark. Now, I'm not getting racist. I'm not saying, but he definitely sounded Indian. And so his name is Mark, but the phone number, or the name on the phone number, is something Gruel, which is generally an Indian name. So you're going to tell me that you're Mark now. And it's going to come up with like your own home phone number, your own cell phone number, whatever it is. Really? Sorry, Mark. Not falling for it. I just, you gotta wonder too, how many calls in a day do they make, and how many people do they actually convince? And it's sad that they do, but they do. And anyway, so have you ever screwed around with them like that? Have you ever had one of those calls and you're just like, you know what, I'm just gonna waste their time. Yeah, I'm just gonna do it. Like I said, I have the luxury of sitting in a freaking recording, in a radio studio. So this happens. Well, we just hit the record button. We're on the air. Go ahead. And that's something that I enjoy doing. I'm guessing, I don't know why we just had such a short clip. I guess maybe I didn't. Did you guys edit it or something, or was there more to it? Nothing interesting? Okay. But yeah, I mean, that's something that I don't even know how many times I've done that, when I've just been sitting here I'm like, all right, you know, let's just spruce up my day a little bit. Let me have a bit of fun. Let's have for shits and giggles, as Austin Powers would say. Send me an email. Tell me your experience with that. Live at jbonair.com. LIVE at jbonair.com. Back on the Scribble right after this.
It's never too early to start thinking about your next holiday. Have you checked out Mexico recently? From tequila tasting, swimming with horses, to ziplining through the jungle and watching whales and dolphins in their natural habitat, Puerto Vallarta has it all. Visit mexico.jbonair.com to see all the fun PV has to offer. That's at mexico.jbonair.com for hundreds of photos, interviews, and videos from around the tourist hotspot. Check out mexico.jbonair.com for all the fun. That's mexico.jbonair.com.
Who are the Kardashians feuding with now? What did that little thug Justin Bieber do this time? Who's getting hitched? And who's headed for Splitsville? Hear the latest celebrity news and gossip every day on Entertainment Wrap-Up. The good, the bad, the ugly, but mostly the ridiculously hilarious. It's all recapped in this daily segment at entertainmentwrapup.com. Have a laugh at the expense of the rich and famous when they take themselves way too seriously. It's 3 minutes of time-wasting fun at entertainmentwrapup.com. Check out Entertainment Wrap-Up at entertainmentwrapup.com. Brought to you by Speak Free Books.
JB here, back on the Scribble. Let me shift gears now as a business person to talk about scammers because I own a couple e-commerce stores. And obviously, customers aren't necessarily the most honest nowadays. What is it, right? It's the porch pirate thing or it's, whatever. And so our company has dealt with this several times. And actually last summer, was last summer or 2 summers ago, we had just this surge of people all kind of having the same complaint. Now, I guess, first of all, people are very impatient. Do you remember back in the day when you would order something from, I guess, the Sears catalog or whatever it was, or even just by mail? You had no idea when it was coming. And maybe that was part of the excitement, was that every day you'd race home and wait to check the mailbox. Oh, not today. Okay, well, maybe tomorrow. Oh, well, it wasn't. No, maybe tomorrow. Okay, maybe Friday. Okay, it'll be here on Monday. And that's just how mail works, people. Really, I'm telling you this right now as a business owner who, from what I understand, my company is on the receiving end of dozens of these messages every week. Chill the fuck out. The mail will get to you when the mail gets to you. Small businesses have no control over customs clearance into your country, the speed of your post office processing and delivering mail. That's beyond any business's control, okay? So for the people who are impatient and who just insist on getting a tracking number, you have to realize that just because you don't have a tracking number for your order doesn't mean that it hasn't shipped, doesn't mean that it's lost, doesn't mean that it's stolen, it means jack fucking shit, okay? Because I look at some of the emails that come in and people are like losing their minds that they didn't get a tracking number. Well, why wasn't it sent to me? First of all, our company is not responsible for your spam folder or what you do with emails. So if you deleted it or you didn't read it or you didn't whatever, that's on you. You're not going to rip apart one of my employees because we don't control your email box. It's automatically sent to you. If whatever filters you have or, whatever, that's not our problem. So how you're going to become unhinged and all of a sudden start freaking out on a company is beyond me. And so we had this several times last year where people, I guess, would go and look on the website order, which our shipping is not connected through the website for one of the stores, which is why you get a separate email with your tracking information. Then you can just go directly to the United States or whatever postal service. You could just go and get the information directly from there. So I think what people were starting to do, I'm confident what people were starting to do was they would check their shipping and it wouldn't show anything on the website. It would just say preparing to ship or whatever it was. It was so coincidental, so weirdly timed every single time that the day that it was delivered or the day after it was delivered, the people would email and say, "Where's my order? Has it shipped yet? I didn't get a notification. I don't really know what's going on. What happened to it?" And you sit there thinking, okay, so it arrived. I know you got it. And it has a tracking number on it. So like you realize that we likely have that tracking number as well. So all we need to do is just go click, 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 type on the keyboard and see you got it yesterday. Right? I mean, that's sort of that's how it works. Just because you're thinking that it hasn't shipped, like we haven't logged it or whatever, so you got it, but you're going to go and say you didn't get it. So are you gunning for a refund? Are you gunning for another one for free? Like what exactly, So we don't have patience with something like that anymore. So sometimes it'll be forwarded to me, depending on my mood that day. And we just go right in for the kill and go, look, so you're claiming non-delivery. Your postal service says it was delivered yesterday, 1:51 p.m. Not a problem. We'll escalate this to our loss prevention and legal teams. They will now work with the United States Postal Service, open an investigation. Part of that includes reviewing surveillance cameras around your area and your neighbor's doorbell cams, and we can see exactly when it was delivered, what happened. We have pictures of your mail, so we know exactly what we're looking for in those videos, and we'll get to the bottom of it. It's going to take about 21 days, and what's the best number to reach you at in case our legal team needs to reach out? And believe it or not, here I am sharing our secrets, 100% of the fucking time, guess what the reply is? Oh my God, I did. Oh, I just checked. I got it. You're right. Oh, you're right. And so like you kind of, if you're sitting and waiting for mail, right? Like you're and you obviously got it because it's always that day or the day after. That's always when these people reach out. Nobody reaches out 5 days later and says, oh, what's happened with it? No, it's the day that you get it or the next day. But of course, each customer doesn't necessarily know that unless they're part of a theft ring. But like you start to notice these patterns of what people are doing. And yeah, it's just miraculous. Hallelujah. It was there. Oh my, I just didn't check. Really? You didn't check before you decided to like just, and some of the people lash out, right? And some of the people just freak out. And then when we go and put the foot down and say, that's fine, we'll lawyer up and we'll find out what happened. Not a problem. We have a 100% track record on this. So take your pick. Do you want theft and fraud charges with your bank and with us and with the United States Postal Service? You're going to fuck with a government agency? Good luck, my friend. Good luck. Is it worth it for a $25 goddamn pair of underwear? Is it worth it? Is it? It wouldn't be for me. Sorry. I mean, I have a lot of money, so it's not worth it for me. But, like, do people not think? Like, what is the point? Like, it doesn't make sense to me. So when I get sent these screenshots or a forwarded email as like an FYI or, hey, take a look at this, I just sit here and think, yeah, we're not stupid. And that's what sucks though about this, right? Is that we're a big company. We have a lawyer. We've got lots of people here. We've got money. But just think about doing that to a small business, right? Think about the stay-at-home, the single mom, not even necessarily a stay-at-home mom, the single mom who's making crafts or whatever it is. Like, just, you're going to fuck her over. You're going to either do, a chargeback or a complaint, or she's going to have to make another one and send it to you and cost even more because she's going to ship it to you again free. Do you really feel like a good person doing that? Really? And then and so let's take it one step further. So single mom, maybe delivers locally, right? Maybe she's got like arts and crafts or whatever it is, and she hires a local senior or a local veteran. He likes just to drive, he's kind of got nothing to do in the day. He doesn't mind driving around the city. He's helping her out. He gets paid a little bit. Well, now, she's got to take that away from him because, well, I can't afford to pay you for the deliveries this week because I had to go and, recoup the costs of making new stuff and sending out new orders. I would feel like a shitty person. And maybe people aren't thinking about things like that. Maybe they do look at that and go, oh, well, this is a big company, whatever. But here's the deal. It's a big company, meaning we've got a lot of money, but we have open communication with our teams where it's like, hey, Sharon, our lawyer, here's somebody who's fucking around. So do you want to tighten the screws, or like, what do you want to do with this? We had a person, do we have time? How much time do we have? I won't have, okay. 3.5? I hope I can get to it. Okay. So there was somebody last year who said that he's asking about his mail, which again, we confirmed that it was delivered the day before. And he says, well, there's been theft in our condo complex and, I'll definitely look into it and I'll find out. Oh, well, that's kind of scary. Okay, fine. So he came back and he said, I asked the property manager and yeah, no, we've got a theft problem. So what we did over the next couple of days was we ended up getting his address. We found the property manager. We found the property owner. Then we found the property manager. I had a phone call with her. I spoke to her. I just emailed her out of the blue and I said, hey, look, we've got a question about your property. Somebody's claiming non-delivery. Have you had a theft problem? Like, can we connect by phone? I just want to sort of get the lay of the land. Call her. Of course, we record the call because that's what we do. And she knew, by the way, the guy's name exactly. I didn't even have to. I said, have you had mail theft? Have you had a problem? Has anybody come to you and said, hey, look, whatever. I said, do you have cameras by your mailbox? Where is it delivered? Is it delivered to his door? Does it come into a community box? Is there a community room? Is it recorded? What happens when mail comes to your property? She knew exactly the guy. And she said, yeah, we have complaints about him. And I said, okay, that's fine. And so I said, we're working together on this because he's trying to scam my company. He's got a $200 order of shit and he's saying that it was stolen, whatever, it didn't come. There's this problem. She said, in this place, if there is so much as even a piece of garbage on the grass or a blade of grass on the sidewalk after it's cut, these people are calling me and complaining and bitching me out. If mail is getting stolen from 6 people, which is what this guy ended up saying, she's like, I'm definitely going to hear that. And I said, so again, you're saying that there's no mail theft property or no mail theft on your property that you've heard. She's like, nope. I said, okay, I want to tell you one more thing. And so I forwarded her all of the emails that this guy sent as we were talking. And I said, he's saying that 6-7 people have reported it. And the property manager reviewed the cameras and said that's what happened, but can't share the video because there's other stuff on it. Who has access to the cameras? Did somebody review it? Can you ask around? Can you find out? She said, I don't have to ask around. I know. I'm the one with the access. And no, nobody's asked me to do it. I haven't done it. I said, just for shits and giggles, can you though? She's like, well, I don't know. Like, that's going to take a long time. Like, what am I looking for? Whatever. And I said, I can tell you exactly the date and time that it was delivered. All you have to do is punch up June 17th, 3:47 p.m. Tell me what happens. She ended up not having to do it because then what ended up going on, we're out of time. Shit, I'm already in the meat and potatoes of the story. We're going to keep going. Sorry, I'm going to keep going. So she's like, no, we don't have a problem, whatever. And I said, the post office confirmed that it was delivered anyway. I just want as much ammo before I go back to this guy. So the guy wasn't cooperative. He said that, I asked, they won't review the footage. And I said, you know what? I had a call with Patty and I've shown her all of your emails. I've consulted with her. I've even consulted with the condo association and the board that you have there. And nobody has reported anything. So to whom did you speak and report this issue? Who was it that you had review the camera footage? Oh, well, I can't tell you this. He's like, well, and I also talked to the post office. And you know what? We actually talked. Patty gave me which post office it would be, and we called there as well. And they said that they don't have a record of you calling and looking for mail. So you're saying that it magically then was delivered, it was damaged, but they repackaged it in a brand new box for you and brought it a couple days later after we called you out of being a fucking liar? Oh, well, that's not the post office that I went to. Well, why would you go to a different post office asking about your mail? Well, how would they help you? And at the end of the day, he said, I got my mail, case closed. And I said, no, buddy, not case closed. You've accused the federal agency, the U.S. Postal Service, of mishandling mail, that it's getting stolen. You've accused your condo board, your condo management of lying and saying, one thing. You've gone and accused your local postal service, your postal office, of saying this and this and that. No, not case closed, buddy. Not case closed at all. So those are the kinds of extremes that, as a company, I'm sitting here going, is it worth my time? You know what, though, so that this guy learns his lesson and doesn't screw over people? Yeah, it is worth my time. It is. I'm not going to put up with that shit. So just think about that. Before you go and make a false claim about, mail theft or whatever, think about the business person that you're hurting. There's another person on the other end of that company whose money you're taking. So think about that if you want to be a slime ball, okay? Take a break, and we'll be back on the Scribble right after this.
We hear you chirping. Get scribbling. Tweet up the Scribble at The Scribble Show. Join the discussion with Jeremy Bradley. It's all going down right now on Twitter at The Scribble Show and at thescribbleshow.com.
JB here on The Scribble. See, during that last segment, I got to tell you, they were rushing me along because they said, we don't have time, wrap it up. And now, during that little Twitter thing that you just heard, they said, okay, you've got a minute. And I said, well, then why were you rushing me? If I've got now a minute to fill and kill and vamp and, fill the dead air, there was no sense in rushing me. And, we've worked together, this team, for, 20 years now. And they said, because if we wouldn't have given you a 5-minute warning, That's what they do. They try to trick me. When I actually have 5 minutes, they'll say, okay, you've got 3, because they know I'm going to go long. So now I'm on to you. Now, when you tell me 5, I'm going to go and say, or I'm going to go, I really have 10 minutes then. I'm going to take the 10 minutes. I'm going to do a stopwatch, and I'm going to take my 10 minutes. My name is Jeremy Bradley. Tell me about your scam stories live at jbonair.com, LIVE at jbonair.com. I will talk to you on the Scribble again next time. Bye-bye for now.
Want more Scribble? Check out thescribbleshow.com for past shows, celebrity interviews, cheapskate tips, and more. That's at thescribbleshow.com and on Twitter at The Scribble Show. The Scribble is a speak-free media presentation.
If you want some